Say it again.
Talk to me, baby. Háblame de seguros.
I'm Vera Igby.
Y yo, Itzel Greenheck. Y juntas somos
Talk Insurance Tv.
If you could share a little bit about yourself, about your business, and just introduce yourself a bit, that would be awesome.
Okay. Well, Yadira Lopez. I started LoDel Insurance in 2013. I started it with a partner. So I had a partner who was also my partner at the time in life. And we started this business because I wanted to leave my job. I was working for a local city for over 10 years. I was extremely stressed out. My kids were growing up before my eyes. I missed everything, school assemblies, soccer games, everything, awards. It was just too much. And I didn't want to do it anymore. My health was at risk. I was pregnant. I had a miscarriage just because of all the stress of being at this job. And I had already been licensed for life and health and property and casualty for about 2 years. And I never did anything with it because I was scared. I was scared to, leave that guaranteed check every 2 weeks.
Right.
And there was just nothing really pushing me over the edge, And so one day I was at work, again, super stressed out, got into a fight with my boss. I came home crying. I saw the look on my kids' faces. One of my sons said, "Mom, you're not very nice these days." And I thought, wow.
It hits you right in the heart.
Yeah. And I thought, wow, how disappointing to have, I think he was like 10 at the time, 10, 11, to have, your 10, 11-year-old son tell you that. And I'm like, wow, this is not who I wanted to become. This isn't the type of parent I wanted to become. This isn't the type of person that I wanted to become. I actually, I went to bed. I was crying all night. I went to bed. When I woke up in the morning, same routine, got ready, went to work, dropped off the kids. When I got to work, I opened my email, and my boyfriend at the time had written my resignation letter. And he said, I opened my email at work. I'm like in shock. I even laughed, but I read it and it was really good, He's like, and he tells me, print it, sign it, and we can do this. We're going to be fine. And I said, he's crazy. So I went about my day, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. My boss called me into her office, and just the pressure got to me. And I was like, I'll be right back. I went to my desk. I printed the letter. I signed it. I said, here you go. I'm going to lunch. And then, because, I had to run, because I was like, did I just really quit my job? It had been over 10 years. Yeah. I was in a very good position. I was making good money. The benefits of being a civil service employee. Yeah. So I was like, okay. I went to lunch, kind of had to breathe,
Hyperventilating, you're like...
I couldn't believe I had done it. When I came back, my boss's boss called me into the office, said, what is it going to take to keep you? And I said, nothing. I've made up my mind.
Wow, they actually didn't even get it, right?
No, he said, I know why you're doing this. You want more money. Just give me the number and you got it. And I said, it's not about money anymore. It's about my sanity. And he said, okay. He said, we'll go home, think about it. I said, no, this is what I want. And that's how I literally fell into health insurance. Wow. At the time, it was about October 2013. Open enrollment for Obamacare or Cover California had just opened. There was all kinds of statistics out there that the Latino community needed, help, because we were the one demographic that wasn't used to having health insurance, just Medi-Cal. Nobody's ever paid for health insurance, or most people didn't have health insurance at work, so they didn't know how it worked. So I thought, what a great opportunity to be able to help our community, teach them, and, make some money. Why not?
Why not?
And I emptied out my savings accounts. I emptied out my retirement accounts, investment accounts, I liquidated everything that I had.
How are you feeling that whole time? were you like, no, this is the right thing to do? Or did you feel any, I don't know, some people get like anxiety, can't sleep at night. Others are like, nope, it was the right thing. I was all in.
What was going through your mind during
Well,
that process?
I'm going to tell you this. I called my mom and I told her what I did. And at first she said, "You're crazy. What are you doing?" And then I said, "I know." And then I started doubting myself. But then my mom, who's an entrepreneur, said, "You're going to be fine. You're going to do great." Like 20 seconds later. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do fine. And I just started, telling my friends, my family, this is what I'm going to do. And everybody was so supportive. Like, yeah, you're a badass. You can do it. And you start feeling like a badass. Like, yeah, I can do it.
Especially
And,
once mom says everything's going to be fine, right?
Having the blessing of the mother is ridiculously important.
Absolutely. And my mom has, in her own business, she's had it for over 20 years at this point. So if she's telling me I could do it, I was like, okay, I could do it. Yeah. So I actually knew where I wanted my office to be. I drove by this place every single day for 10 years on my way to and from. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, I know the perfect place. I want to, negotiate a lease there, and I did it. We just negotiated a lease, started buying furniture, had no employees, really didn't know exactly how we were going to approach it marketing wise. But something incredible happened. We started putting up our signs, right? That said, Cover California coming soon. And when we got this place, the walls were purple. So we had a lot of painting to do, So we were painting for like 2 weeks trying to cover this nasty purple color. But during that time, people were knocking on our door saying, "Hey, you still cover California? Can you help me?" And then I said, we're going to be okay. Like, we're not even advertising it. And people are knocking on our doors.
Like, you're like covered in paint and still just selling your shirt.
Yes.
Come on in.
My very first Cover California policy that I sold was on the floor of this office in Linwood. Wow. I had no furniture. I was in, like you say, covered in paint. And the man said, "Just help me now. It's okay." I'm like, "You don't want to come back when I have it?" He said, "No, let's just do it."
Wow, that's incredible. Did you already know how to sell it? Like, did you kind of have an idea, or you just kind of dove in and said, "We'll figure it out on the way"?
No, had no idea how to sell it. Had never sold a health insurance policy. My very first policy that I sold was to my mom and her husband when I was working for the city still. But then when I was like, I can do this, like, I stayed at entry, I got this. And, just started reading up and seeing the different plans. There was a lot of support from Cover California at the time. So a lot of seminars, whatnot. And so I everything I could get my hands on, I did. But something that definitely stood out to me was that all the research that they were doing showed that it was going to be Latinos that needed this the most, and that they didn't know how they were going to reach them. And so I have always worked with the Latino community. The city that I worked for, the city of Huntington Park, I spoke Spanish 99% of the time. So I was used to working with that community, and I said, I know how to get to them. I know how to do it. And it's worked out. I'll tell you something. I was scared, when I initially turned in that resignation letter. I was scared. I really was. But that was the last time I was scared. That was 7 years ago. I've never been scared. I have absolutely no regrets. None, not once, not even for a second, not even when things are not going my way. Do I regret it? Never.
That's amazing. And that's, where do you think that comes from? Is just because, you're on the right path, that it's just like, this is where I was meant to be placed, and everything just kind of like the universe flows?
Yes. And
that fear?
Because I've always liked to help people, and I know I'm doing something good. I'm educating people. Every person that I sit down with, I'm not trying to sell them a policy. I'm trying to educate them so that they see that this is something that they need in their life. And they, it's not tangible, so they need to see the benefit in it. And that's what I've done. That's the approach that I've taken from day one, is let me educate these people. And that has been the best marketing strategy ever, because then they bring their family members or friends or coworkers, like, hey, this girl will tell you what you're actually getting. And then they appreciate it. So that's worked out, that the fact that I took a different route than you know, try to push a policy on them.
Yeah.
I wanted to educate them.
Yeah. And what is it like in terms of, because you're in health insurance, right? So, you know,
Yes.
the industry is typically, most people associate insurance with like auto insurance or home insurance. What is it like as a female to be in that industry? I'm sure you hear kind of some of the horror stories in the auto side or the, you know, the personal line side. Is there a difference? Is it easier? Have you had any obstacles being a woman in the health insurance industry?
Absolutely. When we first started, like I said, I had a partner, a male partner, and anytime that we entered a room together, or people would come into the, you know, my office and we were both here together, everybody would directly go to him. And I was just some kind of glorified secretary or something. I didn't have an actual role or a brain.
So crazy.
Yeah, and it's been tough, especially with Latinos and especially with Latino men. I still have men come in here and say, can I speak to the owner? I'm the owner. How can I help you? No, the other owner, the man. I want to talk to the man. I'm like, there is no man. I'm it.
You're like,
So,
I'm the man, I'm the woman, I'm everything you need. Wow.
Exactly. So it is tough. It's tough with customers. It's tough amongst our peers. You know, just being in different events or whatnot, they have trouble believing that, you know, it's a woman run business. And it's sad because here we are 2020, you know, and they can't believe that a woman on her own could run, you know, a business. Or even once they ask, like, well, what do you do? Well, how many offices do you have? That's like question number one, right? And it's like, well, I have 3 offices. 3 offices by yourself? And it's like, come on, guys.
That's really
Yeah.
And you would think, sometimes I feel like we're progressing so much, and then all of a sudden somebody somewhere at some convention will ask you a question and you're like, really? We're still there? We're still
Yeah, absolutely. And it's tough. And then, you know, just throughout the years, you would think that people get used to it. You know, there's women like Adriana's and Veronica's that have paved the way for all of us. And yeah, apparently it doesn't click, you know, with some people.
I've heard stories where people are like, well, yeah, I'm sure the husbands had money and that's why they were able to do it, you know? And I'm like, wow, how about
I love that question.
It's so ridiculous.
So what is your beauty routine, or any trick, anything that is you? Like when you are doing it's because of you, that you enjoy to do, or any activity or anything that, you know, any beauty ritual that you do?
Or like personal care,
Yes.
things to take care of yourself, because
Yes.
you're a businesswoman, right? It's a lot of
Right.
stress. So what do you do for you?
I'll tell you, what makes me feel like me is putting on my lashes, putting on my heels, and that makes me feel like me. That's my beauty routine. Like I told you earlier, you know, my daughter helps me with my hair when I'm gonna do something. You know, I have somebody who'll do my makeup if I need to, but those are things I can, you know, kind of do myself. But I feel like me, and I feel like I can conquer the world when I have my lashes on, my heels on, and my coffee cup in my hand. Those are my 3 things.
Absolutely.
Lashes, coffee, and heels.
I know, we could really take over the whole world with that.
Oh
so
my God, I want to put that in a
Absolutely.
t-shirt. Lashes, coffee, and heels.
Yeah, I'll buy
Yeah.
one. It's a good idea. That's great. And then speaking of, because I think it's so important for every individual as a business owner to take time for yourself, right? But how do you have 3 offices, and let's not be modest. You're like in the top tier of health insurance agents, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am.
You are. Okay. So, which is fantastic. But because of that, I'm sure your time your presence is demanded a lot. How do you balance, you know, your work life, your home life? I know it's a family affair, but where do you find the balance? Because you have a little one too, right? So
I do. And I have an amazing support system. I have an amazing support system at home and at work. I I can tell you that if I need to not be home for a week, my house will run. Yeah, I have an amazing team.
Oh my God. Okay, I want to need,
Yeah.
I need to learn more.
So I have 3 adult children. My eldest is my daughter. She's 22. I have 2 boys, 20 and 19. The 3 of them are licensed agents. So at home, I have a little one too. He's 5. So if I'm not home, I mean, I'm not worried. The laundry will get done. The house will be clean. My kids will eat. Things will run normally. The same thing for work. If I need to be away for, like, unfortunately, I had to be away for the last 6 months, and I was able to do that. And these offices ran very smoothly. So it's the support system that I have that makes it possible for me to be sane somewhat here and there.
What does it feel like to have your kids part of your business as well?
I'm very proud of my kids. I'm very proud that they never wanted to be insurance agents. And obviously,
no one grows up and
yeah.
like, I can't wait to be an insurance agent.
right? So I just said, hey, you guys are in school. You know, I can send you to go flip burgers, for a job because they need to work. I said, or you can come help me at the office. You know what to do. You've been helping me since these doors open. So let's make it official. Let's get you licensed. Let's get you on payroll, and let's do it. And I can definitely count on them. Late nights, especially during open enrollment, they don't want me in the office by myself. So they'll come in. Okay, Mom, what needs to get done? And, we get it done. Yeah.
Do you have any resistance whatsoever, or were they just like, we're in, we'll do it?
So when I said I'll put you on payroll, all resistance went away. Yeah, I'm like, this wasn't like when we first opened and I had you outside with an Obamacare sign.
Right.
No, nothing like that. I'm gonna have you
I'm
on
sure
payroll.
you probably had to take that part away so that they could understand that you meant business, literally. What's like the best advice that you've received, whether it's personal or business, that really changed something monumental for you?
The best advice I received is build a team so strong that you don't know who the boss is.
Oh, that's
And I think I've done that. And back to my support system at home, you don't know I'm the mom,
Right.
because everybody takes responsibility. At work, everybody can run this. I've built a team so strong that I don't stand out from them.
Wow.
I'm the bougie one in a dress, but other than that, you cannot tell me apart from my employees. I don't have a problem taking out the trash. I don't have a problem entering an application, helping a customer, just like they don't have a problem helping me run payroll or, coming in to open or close. We're all equal here. This is the first thing that I knew that I didn't want when I became a business owner. I knew that I didn't want to be an employee. I didn't want to be the one that opened and the one that closed and the one that knew everything and the one that had to do everything. And because then I would have gone from that situation, working for the city, to just doing it on my own.
That's
Yeah.
interesting
So
that she says that. Yeah, because so many business owners end up being their own employee because they didn't
Absolutely.
it's so interesting.
Yeah, especially in our industry, a lot of business owners feel like they have to touch everything or they have to be there every day for it to run. I didn't want to do that. I have no problem releasing control, delegating activities. I don't have a problem with that, because I knew that the reason that I left the city was because I wanted more time with my children. And when I was getting there, when I started, the business, and, my kids would actually have to come to the office with me, but they were teenagers, so they understood, they, could do their homework or whatnot. And then I got pregnant, and I said, okay, this is going to be the difference. I'm 33. I have a baby on the way. I don't want to do the same thing with this baby that I did with my teenagers, where I missed out on so much. So, my staff that I currently have has been with me for years.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's just making sure that they understand that they're appreciated, that they're rewarded appropriately, just so that they they understand that they're part of this family, and that way we all work together. And I can tell you, as far as my 5-year-old, I haven't missed much. I'm always there. Any school functions or soccer games, I've been able to make it, and that to me is pretty amazing.
Don't you find that sometimes agents have a hard time with the whole appreciation and recognition of?
Yes, as I was listening to you, I was like, most of the agents probably think, oh, well, that's kind of like a dream. I mean, it's nice to hear it and to say it, but how you really apply it in a more tangible way. You actually cover that by saying that, by rewarding the people appropriately, by making them feel appreciated. I think it's something that not a lot of people know how to. Somehow we, especially the Latino people, we are a little bit like,
sometimes there's no finesse.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. So how can you give us an example of that appreciation?
Oh, I have multiple examples. So one, we have the open enrollment season, right, is really hard on us. So right now, starting October 1st, we're going to go till February. That means nobody gets vacation. That means no taking a week off for Christmas or New Year's. So they understand that. So I just want it for them to be worthwhile. So we started doing, I think it was 4 years ago that we started doing pre-open enrollment getaway. So I take my staff and we go somewhere. So it's always a different destination. This year we're going to Cabo.
Oh my God, can I work for you?
Yeah, we're actually going to Cabo this year. This has been our most extravagant trip. Everything has been local, like we went to Rosarito, we've gone to Palm Springs, things like that. But
so
this time was like go big or go home. It's been a rough 2020. And I was like, you know what? I want to celebrate life. I want to celebrate us. We are a badass team. Let's do this. So we booked Cabo. So we're going to Cabo this year. The way the health insurance works, obviously, the larger your volume, you start, getting trips, you start getting bonuses. Any bonus that I receive, I split with my staff. It's a personal choice. I know I don't have to, but it keeps them motivated and it shows them that I appreciate them, that this isn't, and I keep saying that this is my family because they are my family. And I need to show them that. So that's how I do it. Of course I'll pick up lunch here and there, whatnot, those things, but for them to truly feel appreciated, they have to compensate being away from their family. And I understand that. And the fact that they can provide for their family, they're happy about that. Obviously, not everybody sees it that way, or maybe not all employees have appreciated it. But the staff that I currently have is amazing. They appreciate, whatever I can do for them, or, the little extra things, they appreciate it. And they know, I count on them 100%.
It's about setting expectations, right? If when your busy times are, so you'll be like, look, you're going to have no life from this time to this time, but the reward is there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's how it is. So we, like I said, go till February. And then after February, we can relax a little bit. It's not like we're just chilling, but we get to relax a little bit. And, they can take their vacations in the summer with their kids and whatnot. So, flexibility and understanding and respect, mutual respect. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever wanted to get into other lines of insurance, or are you about focus? Because I find it so great when some agents are just like, no, this is me. This is what I do. But have you been curious to dabble in other lines?
I have, and we do a little bit of P&C. Me, myself, I love the health insurance side of it. I understand it. I love it. I love explaining it to people. I love helping people. My staff actually is a seasoned staff. They came from the auto insurance world. They worked for one of these agencies that, they were 100% broker fee, policy after policy. So they like that. So we do auto for them. they like that. It keeps them busy. It makes them happy because that's what the world that they came from. Me
Right.
personally, if you ask me to sell you an auto policy, I'll refer you to one of them. I mean, it's not that I don't know how. I know how. It's just not my passion.
You mentioned celebrating life, and I think we tend to forget to do that. And 2020 has been really hard on a lot of people. I'm assuming that it's potentially been pretty good for you guys because, there's a bit of a freak out, I need insurance, etc. How has that been? And in terms of celebrating life, how do you teach that to your children as well? How do you guys do it as a family unit?
Well, yes, 2020 has been tough on all of us. I feel like it's a little bit rougher on me. But as far as work-wise, unfortunately, all these people losing their jobs and losing their insurance, their health insurance, has been good for us. We've been able to maintain our doors open and stay really busy. And unfortunately, we were able to, see an increase in business because of that. As far as celebrating life with my children, my 3 older children, they have grown up with me. I had my first child when I was 16 years old. So we always get the whole, are you guys sisters? And it's not because we look like sisters, but we have a relationship like sisters. We grew up together. I always tell her that. And they've been through hell and back with me. They've seen that not nice mom that worked for the city and that was always stressed out and, didn't know if I was going to be able to make the rent or if we were going to have extra, to where we are right now. And so they appreciate what life has given us. I had a health scare this year, like Vera, and that was a game changer for us. The fact that I might not be here tomorrow had never crossed our minds until it had to. And now every moment that we have together as a family, whether it's having dinner or going to my aunt's house or going to visit my parents at the cemetery, whatever small little moments that we have together, we completely cherish it. We love to be together.
You post so much of you and your family, of you guys working together. It's lovely that people can share that. I think that a lot of business owners feel like there should be a separation between those two things. And you don't do that. You're like, this is me.
No,
This
is me. Absolutely. Like I said, we are like one big family. My my associates here at the office, you can catch them at my house anytime. My kids are always here in the office. I mean, we are one big family because it works together. I don't see the need to separate it.
Yeah, agreed. So our final question would be if Yadira 2020 could speak to Yadira 2010, what would she tell her?
I would tell her it's going to get a little tougher before it gets better. Don't give up. Your dreams will come true. You will live out everything that you wish for. And I would definitely tell her buy cancer insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I would just say, I think about that, 10 years ago, I was 29. I felt like I'm gonna die here at, working for the city. My life is not gonna change. I'm gonna work paycheck to paycheck until I retire, and then God knows what's gonna happen. And I just had all these hopes and all these dreams, but I really didn't see the path on how to get there. So, I mean, it still took, some bumps in the road, but we were able to surpass them, and, it's been great. Yeah.
And then you did mention, your health scare, and then you mentioned the cancer insurance. What got you through that health scare? I know it's obviously your family and your support system, but what was your mindset? Were you worried about the business? Were you mostly worried about the family? Like, how did you just push through and say, no, we're going to get over this bump as well?
I'll tell you, your life changes when you hear you have cancer. I'm 38. I never thought I'd, have to worry about breast cancer at 38. You're not even old enough to get a mammogram. So it just, you know, it just changed my life. And immediately when I heard the words come out of the doctor's mouth, I panicked. I cried. And then I said, no, I'm not. I actually, I thought, okay, how am I going to tell my parents? How am I going to tell my kids? I went home and I told my son, he's 20, and I cried. He held me and I cried. And then he told me, you have one day to be sad and then you need to stop. And then I was like, oh God, like, yeah, he's right. I can't be sad. And I wasn't. I went to my doctor's appointment. We talked about a plan. It was a very aggressive plan. I had 2 surgeries. I went through 12 rounds of chemo. I did 20 rounds of radiation. I was extremely aggressive, but my nurses made fun of me at chemo because I would show up in lashes. And
you're like, where are my heels?
Yeah. So I would show up in lashes and my Starbucks cup in my hand. And I decided I wasn't going to lose my hair. I said, I'm not going to lose my hair because my hair is me. I did another treatment so that I wouldn't lose my hair. And you know, if that makes me bougie, if that makes me conceited, whatever.
Whatever.
Makes me me.
Yeah.
This is how I decided I was going to be sick. And I never wanted to be sick. I never wanted to act sick. And I put myself in this mindset where I'm going to be okay. This is just another bump in the road and we're going to be fine. So that's, I think it's just, you know, seeing things really positively really helped my recovery. There's tons of people that tell me, I could never tell you were sick, not from your Instagram posts, because I was still posting. I was still doing interviews. Yeah. I did this big interview for Univision nationwide. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to let this stop me. I did stay home, you know, because unfortunately COVID was going on at the same time.
Right.
So I needed to be safe. So I stayed home for 6 months. I just recently started coming back into the office, but I'm just excited that I had the opportunity to come back to work, that I feel well now, you know, that God gave me another chance at life. And I just, you know, my outcome of life is completely going to be different. I see things differently. I'm going to take that trip that I want to take. I'm going to eat that burger that I want to eat.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to, because life is too short. But there was one thing that I was never scared of. And here's the insurance agent in me. I knew that if it was my time to go, my kids were going to be okay. I knew that I had life insurance in place. I knew that my house was going to be able to get paid off. I knew that my kids were going to continue to go to college. I knew that my 5-year-old was going to be okay. And so that gave me peace of mind. I didn't have to stress out about that. I had health insurance. I never paid anything when I got, you know, all these treatments and all this surgery. And I mean, just having that back you up, it takes away stress, because I see customers that come in here all the time with cancer and they're stressed out about what's my copayment going to be? What's, you know, how much do I have to pay for surgery? And I didn't have to worry about that. You know, having a good health insurance in place has helped me. Having life insurance helped me. I knew that my kids were going to be okay if I had to go. So again.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's not like it's a commercial for insurance. It's actually reality.
It's not. It's my reality. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's, well, I mean, you know, yeah, I thought about you, even my husband, I was like, you remember Yadira? And he was just like, nope, positive vibes all the time. So we're so happy and grateful that you're doing well. And thank you for sharing that. And if you're comfortable with it, we can keep it in. If you change your mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No, like I said, I have nothing to hide.
Always
This
been
is
an open
my
book.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my story. You know, I've always wanted to be the mom that my kids are proud of. I wanted to be the boss that my employees are proud of. And so this is what makes me me. So I have nothing to hide. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. And again, we're so happy that you're well and that your family is well. And that's really important. So before we sign off, is there just to not wait until something cataclysmic happens to open your eyes, right? Is there some piece of advice that you would give agents, people that listen to this, just to like how to recognize all the great things in your life right then and there?
Yeah, I mean, I just think waking up is such a blessing, and I thank God I didn't do it before, and I'll be honest with you. You just get up and start getting ready, but no, I take the time and I thank God for allowing me one more day with my kids. The fact that I'm healthy, my kids are healthy, during these horrible times of COVID, that, we haven't gotten sick, that, we haven't lost a loved one to COVID. Those things just, this 2020 has been a terrible year for so many people, but here we are. We have our health, we have each other. And to me, that's the biggest blessing. And I think if we all look around and see, we're healthy, we have, these careers that insurance is going to be here forever. We don't have to worry about it going away. We don't have to worry about job security. These are all blessings. And I just think if we really stop to think about it, you'll see so many blessings in your life.
This interview, I personally love it because I know that there's a lot of agents that are mothers that, me personally, it's sometimes a struggle to, like you said, all the games, all the activities that you miss, and to find that you have options, to find that there's inspiration with, like you, and the fact that, it's nice to hear that even though it's not easy, you still can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that it's going to be really nice, and I'm very happy and grateful that you shared your story with us. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think as women, sometimes we wanna take care of everybody, and when we do that, then we stop taking care of ourselves, and somebody's gonna fall behind. So I just decided a long time ago that I was just gonna allow it to be a team effort. They say it takes a village, it really does. And allow them to, I can't do everything. I'm not gonna pretend that I can, because I get tired, I get stressed out. So why not make it, a family affair?
Awesome.
Will you share your handle again for Instagram, so that if somebody wants to follow you and see your stories, they can go ahead and do so?
Yes, my personal Instagram is Yadira _M_Lopez. And for the business is LoDel Insurance Services on Instagram. Thank you for thinking about me. I really appreciate it. It's really just an honor to be a part of this with you guys. So thank you so much for thinking about me.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
If you want to learn more, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram as @TalkInsuranceToMe.
Let us know if you have a topic that you'd like to hear about.
I'm Itzel.
I'm Vera.
We will see you next time.